Hello and welcome back, guys. So in this particular session, what we will be discussing about is Fiskerton, but it's the second question, okay, second part of it. So it's about sales contract, IFRS 15, revenue from contracts with customers. So let's see what the question says. Fiskerton has entered into a sales contract for a construction of an asset with customer, whereby the customer pays an initial deposit. The deposit is only refundable only if Fiskerton fails to complete the construction of the asset, right? So it has paid a initial deposit. The remainder is payable on the delivery of the asset. That means if it does not complete, it can only basically just keep the deposit itself, right? So if the customer defaults on the contract prior to completion, Fiskerton has the right to retain the deposit. Okay. So the managing director believes that as completion of the asset is performed over time, revenue should be recognized accordingly. He has persuaded the accountant to include the deposits and percentage of the remaining balance for the construction work in revenue to date. This is wrong because in accordance with IFRS 15, revenue from contracts with customer, discuss whether revenue arising from the sales contract should be recognized on a stage of completion basis. So remember we did one question regarding overtime and at the point in time, and then after that overtime is like if we enhance the asset and if we have a right to receive payment. Okay, so since over here we don't have the right, so can't be think it can be recognized as revenue, right? So let's say that same thing over here in words. According to IFRS 15, revenue from contract customers at the inception of the contract, Fiskerton must determine whether the promise to construct the asset is a performance obligation satisfied over time, right? Satisfied over time. During the production of the asset, Fiskerton has rights to the initial deposit and has no enforceable right to the rights to the remaining balance as construction take place, right? So there is no guarantee regarding that. So if it is seized, only the deposit can be kept, right? So there is no enforceable right. Therefore, Fiskerton would not be able to receive the payment for work performed to date as such, revenue should not be recognized over time at the point in time, right? The point in time when the control passes to the customer. Right, okay. So what's the third part? Explain any ethical issues which may arise for the managing director and the accountant from each of the scenarios, right? So what sort of ethical issues may arise for the managing director? Okay, MD. It is concerning that the property has been incorrectly classified as an investment property, right? Accountants have an ethical duty to be professionally competent and act with due care and attention, right? They should be prudent. It is fundamental that the financial statement comply with the accounting standards and principles which underpins them. This may be a genuine mistake, but even so, would not be expected from a professionally qualified accountant, right? So whether it may be intentional or not, it is not expected from a professional accountant, right? So this is basically about presentation, right? First of all, the financial statements must comply with the fair presentation embedded within IAS 1 presentation of financial statement. So in case of the managing director, what has happened? Has argued that fair value should be referenced to adjust the managing asset even though it is contrary to IFRS. Okay. So the managing director appears to be happy to manipulate the financial statement. A self-interest to objectivity arises from the issue over debt covenant. It is likely that managing director is concerned about his job security. Should the bank recall the debt and deem Fiskerton to no longer be a going concern because of if the bank deem it to be not a going concern, then it might recall the debt. So managing director's job will be gone. That might be his concern. It appears highly likely that the revaluation was implemented in interim financial statement to try to maintain a satisfactory gearing ratio. Even more is that the managing director 20 to 28, right, has deliberately overstated the valuation, right? For the year-end financial statement. Financial statement means even though he is aware breaches accounting standard. Such deliberate manipulation is contrary to the ethical principles of integrity, objectivity, and professional behavior, right? Contrary. It appears that the managing director is trying to defraud the bank by misrepresenting the liquidity of the business to avoid repayment of the loan. It could be that as well. Alright, just trying to avoid it. The sales contract is further evidence that the managing director may be attempting to manipulate financial statement by recognizing revenue over time as it would overstate both the revenue and assets, right? Otherwise, it's only if it is at point in time, it is only received after a certain period of time, right? Whereas in case of overtime, it is received continuously, right? Perpetually until the work is done. So there will be huge difference in financial statement, okay? Both the revenue and assets, right? Which would improve the gearing ratio. Also improve the gearing ratio. Governance issue, right? Issue arises from the behavior the managing director. It is important that no individual is too powerful and domineering in running an entity's affair. An intimidation threat arises from the managing director's pressuring the accountant, right? That's what it says. It's basically influencing, right? Persuaded the accountant. The accountant to overstate the revenue from the contract, right? It was also managing director who implemented the excessive revaluation on the property, right? Property. It would appear that the managing director is exercising too much power over the financial statement. Anything else that I've missed? So, any ethical issues which may arise for managing director and the accountant from each of the scenarios. Okay, the accountant must not be influenced by the behavior of the managing director and should produce statement which are transparent and free from bias. Instead, the managing director should be reminded of their ethical responsibilities, and the accountant may need to consider professional advice. If the managing director refuses to correct the financial statement, okay, that's it basically. So these are the points that we basically need to give them out, okay, so that we get our full marks. So 2 marks will be awarded for quality of discussion as well. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty much done. So we will look at another ethical issues related questions. So if you have any questions until now, any questions from any topic of SPR, please do comment down below. I'll definitely answer it for you. So I'll see you in the next question. Bye bye.